Oh, hey. My coming out story is one I've kind of held back on posting for a while. Just because I feel like it's like, oh, gay YouTuber coming out story. It felt like it was a little cliche. But, I started thinking about it, and people like to share it. It's special stories, and every story is special and different for everyone. And also, if there's anyone watching that may be going through a tough time and maybe struggling with figuring out feelings that they may be feeling and dealing with that, if this just helps one person in what they're going through, then that makes it all worth it to me. So, my coming out story. This goes all the way back 11 years ago. This goes back to 2005, which prior to my coming out to my family, I had come out to maybe a handful of close friends, maybe 3 or 4 at the absolute most. So I'd kind of been living the double life, I guess you'd say, for a while. And 2005 rolls around. I just started dating a guy, and we'd been together for a couple of months. I was freshly 21 and stupid, and a few months prior to this, I'd gotten a DUI, and I had lost my license for a brief period of time, so I wasn't able to drive, so I was having to get rides to and from hanging out with my then boyfriend. And I was actually away for the weekend, one weekend with my boyfriend, we were both staying at a mutual friend's house that weekend. And I guess that weekend when I was away, my mom had come across some photos of me and a boyfriend, and there was some speculation, I guess you could say, and she kind of phoned around to my sisters, and there was this whole thing, I guess, going on between them while I was away for the weekend. They were all kind of, I think something's up with Phil, I think, we might need to talk to him, and all this was going on, me having no idea about it. So I got a phone call that Sunday from my sister, and she's like, before you go home, I think we need to talk, because Mom found some pictures of yours, and she's kind of questioning things, and I think we just talk. And of course, I think I just hung up the phone, and I was completely freaked out. I was terrified, and of course I was young then, and I was quite a bit more dramatic than I am now, and I'm sure I was just in the floor crying and probably hyperventilating, I'm sure. And at this point, I've got my dad calling me, my mom calling me, my sister's calling me, and I'm just ignore, nothing's happening, nothing's going on. And they were texting me telling me I needed to come home and we needed to talk, and I'm just freaking out. I'm like, nope, sure ain't. I'm not going home. Nope. Because grew up in a small town in North Carolina. Here it is 2016, and we're still arguing about what bathroom to use. So, of course, I'm thinking the absolute worst, and I'm just freaking out, putting it off as long as I can. I'm not going home, not doing it. So I hung out at my boyfriend at our friend's house for pretty much as long as I could until I absolutely had to go home. So get dropped off back at home, and just in my driveway. And I believe my sister and my brother-in-law, they were all there at the time, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is about to be bad. I was totally expecting the absolute worst. And so I'm walking up the driveway, and my dad comes out the door and starts walking towards me, and my car's sitting there, and I'm like, well, I can't drive nowhere, but I sure will lock myself in my car. So I get in my car, lock myself in my car. In the meantime, my dad's coming up to the car, and he's knocking on the window, and I'm like, no, but he's at the driver's side knocking on the window, so I crawl over to the passenger side. He walks over to the passenger side, knocking on the window, and just keep hopping back and forth, and he's kind of going back and forth from the passenger to the driver's side too, chasing me. And I could see on his face that like he wasn't mad, he wasn't angry, he looked just like concerned, and he's like trying to talk to me through the window, so I kind of like just cracked the window and I'm like, okay, let's see what this is. And this next part is something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. I cracked the window and he just looked at me and he's like, Phil, he's like, it's okay. He's like, I don't care what you are. He said, you're my son and I love you, and that's all that matters. And it was right then I knew that there was going to be kind of a rocky road and some awkward conversations to follow, but it was right then in that moment that I knew that everything was going to be okay. And I was just like, okay, so I kind of like slowly got out of my car and go inside and meet all the family who was there, and everyone was completely supportive. And just like I said, there were some awkward conversations that followed and some awkward family dinners, but it all just kind of worked itself out, and the family was nothing but supportive and nothing but loving, and still to this day, like, it couldn't be better. And as awful as that entire experience was, like, I'm glad that it happened and everything is great now. It's a day that I will never forget, and actually the tattoo on the inside of my arm is actually of that date. It's August 20th, 2005. For those of you who don't know, National Coming Out Day is October 11th, so that's coming up here in the next month or so. So anyone who may be struggling with dealing with your feelings and you don't know how to tell your family, so my advice would be, if you have close friends, start with your friends. Like, come out to one friend. You don't have to do it all at once. Nothing needs to be rushed. Just talk to your friends. If you have a close sister or brother, no one likes to hear it, but honestly, your family probably already knows, and they're just waiting for you to come around and approach them. And to any parents that may suspect that your daughter, son, whoever might be gay, my advice to you would be, wait for them. Don't rush it. Do not invade their privacy. Don't overstep any boundaries. You don't want to overstep and scare them even further back into the closet than they were to begin with, because then they'll never trust you again. So, the best thing you can do is let them know that you're there for them. Drop little hints, you can tell me anything, love you no matter what. Just put it out there. Establish your relationship. Make sure they know you have a really strong bond, strong relationship before any of that. And when they want to come to you, they will come to you. So, yeah. And that's my whole spiel on coming out.
Love is kind, love is